Well, it was, of course, an eventful day today. As you all know, as a football fan, you know that today was the final of the Fly Emirate Community Shield. Well, it was, of course, a match between Crystal Palace and Liverpool Football Club. 3 p.m. kickoff time. It, of course, happened, and that match has now come to an end. It was a difficult day in the office for Liverpool, especially. A bitter pill to swallow for them because they have, of course, now lost this trophy. It's the first trophy of the season for Liverpool and, of course, for Crystal Palace. Well, remember, Crystal Palace last season won the FA Cup, beating Manchester City at the Wembley Stadium. That, of course, qualified them to play against Liverpool, who, of course, also won the Premier League title. Well, this game, I'm not a happy man, I must say, because I'm as a Liverpool fan, I'm not happy about the way this game was prosecuted by Liverpool. Just a few details for us. That was where we missed this one. Well, for Liverpool, we of course eventually started this one. Our new signing, Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike, of course, got the opener for Liverpool Football Club in the 4th minute. It was a dream start for Hugo Ekitike and, of course, for Liverpool. Crystal Palace are a dangerous opponent. They are a very, very difficult opponent. From then on, it was just Crystal Palace all the way. I mean, like, how do you even score and then another team gets to take the initiative? Of course, Crystal Palace, because of their grit, they got to go back through a penalty, courtesy of that foul, which shouldn't have, of course, happened. Well, Crystal Palace got one of their players fouled in the 18 of Liverpool Football Club. Our captain, our leader, Virgil van Dijk, fouled a Crystal Palace player, Ismaila Sarr, which, of course, resulted into that penalty in the 17th minute of this game. Jean-Philippe Mateta duly dispersed, sending Alisson Becker the wrong way to make it 1-1. And then from then on, it was always going to be a 50-50 because Crystal Palace didn't, of course, just lie down. They came back into it, fought doggedly. But Liverpool tried as much as possible to hold their own. And then Liverpool were, of course, rewarded in the 21st minute, courtesy of that goal from Jeremie Frimpong. Jeremie Frimpong would only answer one question for me, which is, were you attempting to cross the ball or you were attempting to score from that side of the pitch? As you all know, I mean, Jeremie Frimpong is a new signing of Liverpool Football Club. All right, so Jeremie Frimpong tried to, for me, he tried to score. He didn't try to pass. He just tried to score the goal. He tried to cross the ball, or for me, he just tried to, he did what I would term a cheeky goal, right? He tried to cross the ball for some people, but for me, he tried to get a goal. And of course, his goal was duly rewarded in the 21st minute of this game. And then on, Crystal Palace continued to mount pressure on Liverpool once again. And then the match went into the second half. Ismaila Sarr in the 77th minute of this game, because of the pressure Crystal Palace were putting onto Liverpool, got their reward through Ismaila Sarr. He scored a wonderful goal in the 77th minute of this game. So, of course, very much leveled things up 2-2 between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. I can also tell you for a fact that when Crystal Palace gave Liverpool a serious run for their money, after 90 minutes, just like the rule states, it goes straight into penalties because it's just a season finale for the Premier League winners and, of course, the FA Cup winners as well. It didn't really make any sense to play extra 30 minutes because players are just coming off from a lengthy layoff, not just layoff, but then, of course, lengthy holiday and, of course, coming back to precision and everything. So it didn't really make any sense to make it an extra 30 minutes after 90 minutes. And then, of course, the game went to penalties. It was an interesting penalty because it was actually very chaotic. It was a chaotic penalty. Mohamed Salah, yes, of course, Mohamed Salah very much stood up to take Liverpool's first penalty. Guess what? He missed it. Yes, Mohamed Salah, of all people, missed this Liverpool first penalty. It was the first penalty of the evening, and Mohamed Salah missed it. So Liverpool, of course, lost that. And then Jean-Philippe Mateta stepped up to try to score for Crystal Palace, which he actually did. Remember, Jean-Philippe Mateta scored a penalty in this game. And then during the shootout, he also scored the first penalty for Crystal Palace. And Alexis McAllister, a very reliable midfielder, came up to try to see whether he can, of course, return some glory to Liverpool. But then, unfortunately, he also missed. Eberechi Eze came up to score for Crystal Palace in the shootout. he also missed. And then it was the turn of Cody Gakpo to score for Liverpool through the penalties. Well, Cody Gakpo scored his. Ismaila also scored his. Harvey Elliott missed his. So surprisingly, he of course it was a dangerous miss. Borna Sosa missed as well for Crystal Palace. Dominic Szoboszlai scored for Liverpool Football Club. And then of course Justin Devaney won the match for Crystal Palace via that last kick from the penalty mark. It was an eventful day for Liverpool Football Club. So in total score, he ended 3-2 on penalties to the goal for Crystal Palace. It was a day that for the average football fan, they would of course enjoy this one. But for me, I mean, I thought that Liverpool should have of course done better defensively, because the 2 goals we considered were avoidable goals. But hopefully the coach gets to learn from situations like this. Also the players gets to also learn from situations like this as well, to try as much as possible to finish off games of this magnitude. Crystal Palace, the moment you give them that initiative to score in a game of this remember I told you earlier on that Crystal Palace beat Manchester City. Yes, Manchester City were beaten by Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final on this same ground. So they are not a small opponent. When they see final like this, they will just they just win this one, because at the end of the day, when you get to a Super Cup match like this, it's a 50-50 thing. Anyone can win it, alright? And Crystal Palace won this one 3-2 on penalties after regulation time ended 2-2. So congratulations to Crystal Palace. Well, Liverpool would of course live to fight another day. And also, I must also praise the Liverpool debutants, Hugo Ekitike. Also talk about the big man himself, talking about the man that of course wowed everybody and this matchup, where he provided an assist in this game. That's of course when you talk about Florian Wirtz. And then of course there is also a place for Kekes, who of course held his own at the left position. Then of course Jeremie Frimpong and of course Hugo Ekitike all started this match as debutants for Liverpool Football Club. They held their own in this game. I must say they really held their own in this encounter. So congratulations to them, and of course Crystal Palace once again. We have to do better as a team. We have to do better. That is Liverpool Football Club. We have to do better as a team. What we did today was not just it in any way.